What's up? Welcome everyone to the first episode of Fun with Foreigns. It's a new series I wanted to start to bring you guys just cool info about foreign comics. We'll do them as we find cool subject matters like this one. Episode 1 here, we're going to talk about Mondadori, the Italian publishing company that has been around forever. So we're going to start that with episode 1 here. So Mondadori was started in 1907 by Arnaldo Mondadori. He was 18 years old at the time. So it has a long history in Italy. They're still there. They're a huge presence in Italy. They're arguably the largest publisher in the history of Italy. So they're not a small fry by any means. Now, Mondadori started publishing the Batman series. The first issue came out on December 12th, 1966, which is the top left one up there. Now, this is the second issue. This actually came out January 12th, 1967. As you see here, that's how they numbered there. They put the month in the middle. So this series came out very close to the American. The first 24 issues they did were black and white. It was a total of 82 issues they did in the Batman series, and then starting on the 25th issue, they had color in them. One of the great things about these mid-60s Mondadoris is what they did with the covers. They took a lot of American covers. You'll see original translations like the Scarecrow one there, but then some they took, like this first Batgirl, instead of the purple American background, they put this red background. And they put this red background on a lot of stuff to great effect. They also did a lot of original covers, and the original covers were done by Paolo and Piero Montecchi. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. A lot of times they wrote under the pseudonyms Paul and Peter Montague, though, and that was all done by Mondadori and under their consent. Now, when it comes to release dates, Mondadori may have been the first on several of these DC first appearances and key titles in the mid-60s. The American for Detective Comics 359, which is your first Batgirl, that on-sale date in America was November 29th, 1966. This has a cover of January 12th, 1967, and likely may have been on sale before then. So this is at most 6 weeks away from the American release, and likely the very first foreign edition of Detective Comics 359, the first appearance of Batgirl. Now, one thing to be careful of when you're looking at issues from this line is they do have inserts that a lot of people don't know if they're missing, and they are actually these calendars here, and people would take these out because it was actual schedules of when they could, get their Batman content in 1967. So make sure if you get this that it doesn't have that page removed. It's not a poster and it's not key content, so a lot of people don't know it's missing, but make sure that's in there if you're going after this. And others in the line. I haven't seen the whole line. There might be other inserts, but they're not always posters. Okay, so let's look at some of these original covers here. They start right with issue 1. This is by the Montecchi brothers, and this is the original cover they do. They give you one as well on issue 6, which is pretty awesome, an original cover there. You also have issue 9. This might be my favorite original cover. You got the Batgirl with the scooter there. And then this one here also, issue 11, is also an original cover to Italy there. They also do some really cool variants where they just change the background and add that red. Like this one, this is from Detective Comics 362. As you see, the original there has that dark background, but man, that red just pops more, don't it? Now this one's interesting as well. This is another variant. This is issue 10 in the run. It's a variant of Brave and the Bold 69. As you see here, they got Batman. He's already in the Iron Bat here, and it's already red, but they're like, no, we're not going to use your red. We're going to make him yellow, and then we're going to put red on your orange background. So that's another cool variant there they have. Now, on top of the cool covers and the variants of the covers, you also have original Batman content to Italy by the Montecchi brothers. So this is the first issue that I have it. This is issue 4. And this is actually the cover from Batman 184, but you have one story, an actual Batman story in the back, but then this in the front, this is all original Italian art and stories for Batman. And these really just have not caught on yet, I think, because largely people are not aware of them. And you have several of these throughout the run. And just look at what like the Spider-Man non-canon Mexican stuff is doing. So you have original stories in these. Issue 11 is also, which is the Catwoman cover here. This also has original stories in it, and that continues throughout the run. So it's a great speculation lot for that, as well as investment lot for original content from other countries, because there's not a lot of it out there, and as people become aware of it, they're going to want it. Okay, so let's talk about the Superman run from Mondadori in the 60s. This was actually started in early 1967, and this is actually the 11th issue, even though it's numbered 585. This series started with issue 575, and that's because Mondadori was already producing a series called Superman Nimbo Kid, which ended at issue 574 in 1966. So they picked that up with the new Superman line at 575, but Superman Nimbo Kid wasn't the original line either. That only ran for 46 issues, and it picked up the numbering from Albie DeValco series, which started in 1954 and ran for 528 issues. So this is the third title of this numbering, and it's when they broke off the Superman and separated the Batman, as you can see here, resulting in some great covers. So this issue is from Superman 199. It's the Superman versus Flash race, the first one, and they did another, cover variation. They gave it a white background instead of what everybody knows as the black background. So I like the white background better. Again, this was done very close to the American release, potentially within just a week or two. So Mondadori in these mid 60s runs really came out as close as they could to the American release, in many cases resulting in what was likely the first foreign edition of many of these keys, including this one. So this is the first issue of it, 585, and this is the second issue. This is from Flash 175, and this is issue 592 in this series. Now, what you want to watch for in this, if you get it, is this postcard, because most of these do not have this postcard. So it's got both pieces in there, and this is probably the highest grade copy out there, very likely. But a beautiful series where they started doing these. Now that is the cover from Flash 175. They also did Mondadori a Batman supplement in December of 1967. That was just one issue. They only did one of it, and it contained 6 stories. It's got Superman and Batman on the title, so that's a good one to hunt for as well. So that's a little overview of Mondadori, and hopefully some of you DC fans and collectors now have a new target, maybe, if you collect those key covers, and especially if you're looking for what could be the first foreign edition of those. I think in many cases you're going to find it. If it's a mid 60s DC key, it's going to be in this Batman and Superman lines from Mondadori. So I would definitely recommend not sleeping on these. They obviously are beautiful colors. The red and yellow they used in Italy in the 60s and 70s for backgrounds is just, it might be the best backgrounds out there for foreign editions as far as being consistently used. They're beautiful. They look great in person, and I really can't recommend them enough. So most of this information, just about all of it, was got from either comicsbox.it. We'll put that right here. And if it wasn't from there, that is the Italian site now for anything comic related. If it's an Italian comic, I go there first. You'll have to deal with ads and translations, but it's worth it. Everything else, your starting point is comics.org, commonly referred to as GCD, or the Grand Comics Database. They're the best overall source for foreign comics, and they'll list a lot of things. They by no means have everything. Nobody does. But between comicsbox.it and comics.org, you're going to find most of your, especially Italian info out there. So those are some great resources to use. If you are looking to buy these, always make sure you're price comparing. Try not to buy from people you don't know on eBay without asking other people, is this a good price? Especially with foreign editions. The market can change a lot, and if you're not watching it, you could either lose a lot of money or maybe, get a great deal that you didn't know about. So always ask around, talk to people in the community, and enjoy having fun with those foreign editions. We'll see you next time.